Reading, developing critical approaches. Students are expected to adopt a critical approach to sources which requires a full understanding of written texts. This unit explains effective reading methods, explains common text features including abstract, explores and practices a critical analysis of text. Reading method. It is easy for students to underestimate the importance of reading skill, especially for international students reading academic tests. In the quantity required for most courses is a demanding task, but students will not benefit from attending lectures and seminars unless the reading is done promptly. While clearly most writing tasks require extensive reading, moreover, the text often contains new vocabulary and phrases and may return in the rather formal style. This means that distinct methods have to be adapted to cope with the volume of reading required, which is especially important when you are reading in another language. Clearly, you do not have time to read every word published on the topic you are studying. The chart below illustrated an approach to finding and dealing with texts. Complete the empty boxes in the chart with the following techniques. Read intensively to make notes on key points. Scan text for information you need, example names. Survey text features, example abstract, condense and in-text. Choosing suitable text. Look at the title and subtitles. Text. Skim text for just it is relevant. Read extensive when useful sections are found. Can you suggest any other reading skill to add the chart above? Titles, subtitles and text features. Many books and articles have both the title and the subtitle. The right to have rights, citizenship practice and the political constitution of EU. The title is usually shorter. The subtitle often gives more information about the focus. After finding a relevant text, it is worth checking the following text features before starting to read. Author. It is writer well known in his or her field. What else has he or she published? Publication data and edition. Do not use the first edition if there is a revised second edition available. Abstract. See section below. Contents. A list of main chapter or a section. This should tell you what preparation of the text is devoted to the topic you are researching. Introduction or a preface. This is where the author often explains his or her reason for writing and also how the text is organized. References. This list shows all the sources used by the author and referred to in the text. It should give you some suggestions for further reading. Bibliography. There are the sources the author has used but not specially referred to. In text, an alphabetical list of the topics and names mentioned in the book. If it is example, you are looking for information about the person, the text tell you if that person is mentioned and how often. Reading abstract. They are normally found in peer-reviewed journal articles where they act as a kind of summary to enable researchers to decide if it is worth reading the full article. As a student, you will not normally have to write abstract, but it is important to be able to read them effectively. Fact and opinion. When reading, it is important to distinguish between facts. Rice is grown in a warm, wet climate, and option I like rice. Here are some of the statements. Opinion both. You could tick right, whichever you like. Assessing internet sources critically. You cannot afford to waste time on text that are unreliable or out of date. If you are using material that is not on the reading list, you must assess it critically to ensure that the material is trustworthy. Internet sources are plentiful and conveniently available, but you need to ask several questions about each site. Is this reputable website? Example, academic in the URI. Then practice. Read the following text and decide if you can't trust the information. Hard up. Why struggle when you could live in luxury? Solve your money worries easily and quickly by working for us. No experience needed. You can earn hundreds of pounds for just a few hours work per day. Critical thinking. Even when you feel that text is reliable and that is you can safely use it as source, it is still important to adopt a critical attitude towards it. This approach is perhaps easiest to learn when reading, but it is important for all other academic work. Critical thinking means not just passively accepting what you hear or read, but instead actively questioning and assessing it. Avoiding plagiarism. In the English-speaking academic world, it is essential to use a wide range of sources for your writing and to acknowledge these sources clearly. This unit explains why this is a vital and reduce the techniques students need to use. What is plagiarism? Basically, plagiarism means taking ideas or words from the source without giving credit acknowledgement to the author. It is seen as a kind of theft and it is considered as academic crime. In academic work, ideas and words are seen as a private property belonging to person who first thought or wrote them. Therefore, it is important for all students, including international ones, to understand the meaning of plagiarism and learn how to prevent it in their work. The main difficulty that students face is that are expected to show that they have read the principal experts on the subject by giving citations to explain these ideas in their own words and come to their own original conclusions. Copying the work of others will not help you to develop your own understanding. To show that you understand the rules of academic community, plagiarism is easily detected by teachers and computer software. It may lead to failing a course or even having to leave college. Acknowledging sources. If you borrow from or refer to the work of another author, you must allow that you have done this by providing the correct acknowledgement. There are two ways to do: summary and citations. Quotation and citations. The citation marks it clearly to reader that you have read Smith and borrowed this idea from him. This reference gives the reader to necessary information to find the sources if the reader needs more detail. Degrees of plagiarism. Although plagiarism essentially means copying anybody else's work, it is not always easy to define. Situation. Copying a paragraph but changing a few words and giving a citations. Yes. Working with a partner. Consider the following academic situation and decide if they are plagiarism. You have to tick the answer yes or no by reading the following sentences. Avoiding plagiarism by developing good study habit. Few students deliberately try to cheat by plagiarism, but some develop poor study habit that result in the risk of plagiarism. Working with partner. Now to the list of positive habit. Plan your work carefully so you do not have a write or essay at the last minute. Take care to make notes in your own words, not copying from the sources. Keep a record of all sources you use. Example, author, date, this page number, publisher. Make sure your in the text citations are all included in the list of the references.